Before a woman ever says how she feels, her body has already begun whispering the truth. It's in the little things that seem meaningless on the surface, but carry deep emotional weight. When she's around you, her entire energy subtly shifts. She becomes more aware of herself, but also more attuned to you. Her body language begins to mirror yours, a psychological cue that reveals emotional alignment. When you lean forward, she might do the same. When you relax, she unconsciously mirrors that comfort. These aren't rehearsed actions. They're instincts quietly betraying the emotions she's trying so hard to manage. Her eyes give her away long before her lips ever could. When a woman is falling for you, her gaze lingers in moments that stretch longer than they should. It's not the casual glance of a friend or a polite smile of acquaintance. It's a deeper connection, soft, searching, and sometimes nervous. You'll catch her stealing looks when she thinks you're not watching. And the second your eyes meet, she'll look away with that faint, shy smile that says more than words ever could. That gaze is not just curiosity, it's emotional intimacy forming in real time. Even the way she positions herself around you speaks volumes. If she sits beside you instead of across, it's because closeness feels natural. If her shoulders are angled toward you in a group, it's because she's subconsciously choosing your energy over everyone else's. A woman's body naturally aligns itself with a person who makes her feel both safe and alive at once. She may not even realize it's happening, but you'll feel it, that invisible pull that keeps her drawn toward you. Touch, even the smallest one, becomes an unspoken language. It might be the brush of her hand against yours, the way she fixes your collar, or a playful tap on your arm during a laugh. These moments are fleeting, but they're intentional. Physical contact is her way of testing the waters, not with words, but through presence. And if she keeps finding little excuses to touch you, it's not coincidence, it's connection-seeking expression. Every slight touch is her heart's attempt to communicate what her voice is still holding back. Then there's her nervous energy. The fidgeting, the hair twirling, the subtle readjusting of her outfit. It's not vanity, it's vulnerability. When she's around someone who stirs something deeper in her, she becomes hyper-aware of herself. She wants to appear her best, even if she's pretending not to care. Her laughter becomes softer, her voice slightly higher, and there's a glow in her expression that wasn't there before. That's her body reacting to emotional chemistry, a physiological response to the presence of someone who's starting to matter more than she expected. Her tone of voice also changes when she speaks to you. It carries warmth, playfulness, or a softness that doesn't show up in her conversations with others. Listen closely. There's a rhythm to it, a gentleness that breaks through even when she's teasing or joking. This shift in tone is not deliberate, it's emotion woven into sound. It's her heart bleeding into her words, her comfort spilling into her voice, her affection hiding behind laughter. And then there's the smile, not the polite, automatic smile she gives to strangers, but the genuine, uncontrollable one that lights up her face when she sees you. It's the smile that reaches her eyes, the one that lingers even after the moment passes. It's her way of expressing happiness without uttering a single word. When a woman's smile becomes tied to your presence, it's one of the most honest reflections of how she feels. What's more revealing is how her energy responds to yours. If you're stressed, she becomes calmer, like her body is trying to ground you. If you're excited, she mirrors that enthusiasm without effort. This emotional synchrony isn't planned, it's felt. Her body becomes in tune with yours because emotionally she's already connected. She may not have realized it yet, but her subconscious has. When she's falling for you, her presence carries a certain stillness, a quiet peace when you're near. You'll sense it in the way her breathing steadies, in the way her shoulders drop when you walk into the room. It's like her guard lowers without permission. Her body trusts you before her mind admits it. That's the beauty of it. Love doesn't begin with words. It begins in silence, in proximity, in instinct. Sometimes you can see her trying to resist it. She might cross her arms or look away to maintain composure, but even that resistance reveals the truth. Her body and her emotions are in conflict. One trying to protect her, the other trying to express her feelings. And in that quiet battle, her movements tell the whole story. You'll notice her leaning in when she laughs, her knees angled toward you, her body open even when her words sound casual. These signals aren't about seduction, they're about sincerity. They're the subtle signs of emotional transparency she doesn't even realize she's showing. The truth is, a woman's body will always speak before her words catch up. Her gestures, Her glances, her voice, they all conspire to reveal what her heart is beginning to feel. So when you see her behaving differently around you, pay attention to the quiet cues, because her actions will always whisper what her lips are too shy to confess. When a woman begins to fall for you, it's not just about what she says, it's about how she shows up in your life emotionally. Her energy starts to wrap around yours in ways that words can't capture. She begins to show concern, not in obvious, grand gestures, but in quiet, consistent ways that reveal she's emotionally invested. She remembers the little details you share, your struggles, your dreams, your often comments about your day, and somehow brings them up again later. That's not coincidence. That's care. Her emotional presence begins to fill spaces that used to feel empty, and even when she's not physically there, her energy lingers in your mind. You'll notice how she listens differently, not just waiting for her turn to speak, but genuinely absorbing your words as if your thoughts hold meaning that she can't ignore. When she asks how you're doing, she listens to your tone more than your answer. She notices the pauses, the sighs, the little things you don't say. That's how women communicate emotionally. They listen between the lines. And when she starts doing that with you, it's a clear sign her heart is quietly leaning in closer. Her empathy becomes stronger. If you're having a rough day, she feels it. Not because you've told her, but because she senses it in your energy. She'll send a text at just the right time or ask a simple, "Are you okay?" Even when you've said nothing. That's her emotional intuition, a form of connection that goes beyond logic. It's like she can feel you even from a distance. She might not say much, but her presence comforts you in ways you can't explain. That's emotional resonance. When someone's heart begins to align with yours, then there's her attention. It's not the kind that demands notice or tries to impress. It's subtle, quiet, but deeply personal. She'll notice when you're tired, when your mood shifts, or when your usual spark dims. And instead of pointing it out, she'll gently create space for you to feel safe again. That's what emotional connection looks like, the ability to read you without judgment. She's not trying to fix you, she's trying to understand you. That's how a woman shows affection when words still feel too vulnerable. Her conversations shift too. What used to be surface level exchanges become layered with depth. She begins to open up about herself, not just the facts, but her fears, her past, her doubts. Vulnerability is never random. When she starts letting you see the softer, more uncertain parts of her, it's because she trusts you emotionally. And in return, she wants to know what's behind your mask too. She'll ask questions that make you think, challenge your silence, and invite you to share more of who you are. It's not interrogation, it's intimacy in disguise. Sometimes she'll tease you or playfully challenge you, but it's never to belittle. It's her way of keeping emotional tension alive, of testing how deep your connection can go. That playful back and forth isn't about control, it's about chemistry. She's emotionally present enough to engage with you, to spark emotion, to feel something in the space between you. That's what makes it powerful. It's not forced, it's felt. Her emotional presence also shows up in her availability. You'll notice she finds reasons to be around, to text you back, to call you, to check in. Even when life gets busy, she still makes small efforts to stay connected. Those efforts aren't random, they're emotional investments. A woman doesn't prioritize what she doesn't care about. When she keeps choosing to show up, it's because she feels something real, something worth nurturing. She also becomes more emotionally expressive when you're not around. Maybe she misses you but doesn't say it outright. Instead, she'll hint at it in small ways. Talking about a place that reminds her of you, mentioning something funny you said, or referencing a shared moment with a smile. That's her way of keeping your presence alive even in your absence. Emotional attachment manifests through memory. When you start living rent-free in her thoughts, her words naturally begin to revolve around you. Watch how she reacts when you pull away slightly. Her emotions become more visible. She might not chase outright, but her tone, her messages, her sudden curiosity, they'll all reveal the shift. It's not about control, it's about emotional disruption. When you matter to someone, even a little distance feels heavier. She may check in more often, find excuses to talk, or act nonchalant while her actions say the opposite. That's her emotions trying to find balance in your absence. Even her silence speaks. When she doesn't respond quickly, but still keeps the connection alive, it's not disinterest. Sometimes it's emotional processing, the quiet battle between wanting to be open and fearing she'll be too exposed. That's the complexity of emotion when attraction deepens. It's no longer just interest, it's vulnerability taking shape. A woman's emotional presence is like background music. You might not always notice it, but you feel it in every moment. It softens the edges of your day, lingers in your thoughts, and changes how you experience her. You'll find her energy in the most unexpected places, in a song that reminds you of her, in the way you smile when her name pops up, or in the silence that feels too quiet without her voice in it. That's how her feelings begin to reveal themselves, not through confession, but through consistency, empathy, and quiet emotional gravity that keeps drawing you closer without either of you realizing how deeply it's already begun. When a woman starts falling for you, something subtle yet powerful happens. Your worlds begin to blend. It's not intentional, not calculated, but deeply instinctive. She starts to mirror your habits, your language, even your little quirks without realizing she's doing it. This is one of the clearest emotional signs of connection because mirroring is a subconscious act of alignment. It's the heart's way of saying, I feel safe here. I belong here. When she begins to reflect parts of you back to yourself, that's her emotional closeness manifesting in the most natural way possible. You'll notice she starts picking up on your phrases, repeating something you often say, teasing you using your own words, or adopting your humor. That's not imitation, that's emotional reflection. When we like someone deeply, we unconsciously sync our behavior with theirs. It's her way of building rapport, of creating a shared rhythm between your personalities. The more she feels drawn to you, the more naturally that synchronization happens. It's not about pretending to be like you. It's about feeling so connected that her energy starts to flow with yours. Her daily choices may start to change too. Maybe she listens to that artist you once mentioned, tries a food you love, or starts watching a show you talked about. You might not even notice these things immediately, but she does. Because to her, it's not just about shared interest, it's about emotional proximity. When she immerses herself in things that remind her of you, she's trying to understand your world on a deeper level. It's her way of keeping you close, even when you're not around. And that's the thing about emotional attraction. It's not always expressed in words, it's lived in the small details of daily life. Her body language also begins to echo yours. When you lean in, she leans in. When you speak softly, her tone softens too. These are not rehearsed behaviors. They're instinctive reactions that reveal emotional synchrony. The human brain is wired to mirror those we feel emotionally safe with. It's nature's way of bonding. So when you see her movements align with yours, when her energy adjusts to match your presence, that's a silent confession of closeness that words could never convey. There's also a deeper emotional layer to this. She begins to anticipate your moods, almost like she can feel what you're feeling. If you're stressed, she becomes calmer around you, offering quiet support. If you're excited, she mirrors that enthusiasm, feeding your energy. This emotional alignment is not forced, it's intuitive. She's not reacting to what you say, she's responding to what you feel. And when someone begins to do that effortlessly, it's no longer just liking, it's connection. Her curiosity about your life becomes stronger too. She wants to know how you think, how you